As far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Oh, hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Doo to poot cakes.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It is the Steel Toe Evening Show. Welcome to the program. I am, if nothing else, I am a shock jock. I was born that way, and seeing as this is the month for people being born this way, I suppose I should celebrate that I was born a shock jock. And tonight, I have a very shock jockeyan idea. But before we get to any of my cockamamie shock jock items, before we make fun of anybody, before we get into anything, I understand that starting at about 7:30, I'm going to get my fucking dick kicked in. It is, if you are a drama person, and I don't have a lot of drama tonight. I have a question because there is certain shit I just refuse to look into because it's too gay. But if you are a drama person, boy, oh, is tonight shaping up to be a biggin. You got Jesse P.S. and Pod Awful, one of my favorite shows. And he's going to be going over Ethan Van Sciver, the throat goat, giving the shiv to Ricada. He's going to be getting into that. And then, I don't know if you heard, it's good. I'm just advertising for other shows on my show. When we're wrapping up here, you can go on over. Now, we're on Kick. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. Over on Kick, the Casino Boys, the Kino Casino, are going to get an interview that, I'm not going to lie, I tried to get, and I couldn't get a while back. But somebody went and pissed this mama bear off so bad that she decided she would make her interview debut on the Kino Casino. Mama K, of course, from the, she's the person who went to the court hearings, and she saw the body cam footage, and she made her note. We didn't go over her notes. We went over someone else's. We only had time for one today. And she has, last night when Nick was showing those pictures from God knows when, he said that Mama K should die. He wished death on Mama K. Mama K's big sin, she saw the body cam footage and looked at it and reported what she saw. And for that, Nick believes she should die. So there was something about somebody going on stream to hundreds of people and saying, I want you to, not I hope you die. Now, to me, hoping someone dies is different than saying, die, I want you to die. I like hoping they die is still bad, but to me that's kind of a passive thing. Like if you die, I'm going to be happy. Like I hope you die. But then being like instructing them to die, I want you to, I hope you die and I want you to die. To me, you're turning the dial up a little bit. So apparently that got Mama K all worked up, and she said, well, you know what, Sonny Jim? I think I'm going to take my talents over to the Kino Casino tonight, and I'm going to go talk to those boys about what I saw. So, do I know what Mama K is going to say? Nope. Do I think it's a good idea? I've heard people saying this since the news came out, since the Kino Casino guys talked about it. Some people have said, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea." I think it's as good of idea as she makes it. I went on Kino Casino when I was quite vulnerable, I'd say, and I'd say I turned out fine. But the Kino Casino trip is what you make it. If you do the interview and then you just go back to your life and you do your thing, it's harmless. You know, that's what I love about the internet. You get to control your level of immersion. If you're a narcissistic control freak, you have to respond to everybody. And if you're like me and it's all in fun, you can lay turds in the middle of the room, walk away, and watch everybody complain. That's what Kay can do tonight. She can tell her business. She can tell her story. And the Kino Casino guys can, they can...
Oh, buddy!
He's gay! PPP can yell and scream. Worski can go, oh my God, Felted, that's crazy. And they can all go nuts, and I'm sure they'll love having her on. And then she can just, toodly-doo, walk away, do her thing. Then, later tonight, on Pod Awful, Jesse... Let's go to the Jesse PS tweets, and let's give a little bit of context to this. Jesse, there he is. There's Jesse from Pod Awful. Jesse tweeted this today. He said, I knew Nick had the body cam footage and had given it out to people. I've received screenshots from an anonymous source of the body cam footage and will be showing it uncensored tonight. Disgusting. Now, there you see the poor dog, and you see a litter box and shit and all kinds of things everywhere. Now, I love Jesse, and I don't know how obvious he's being about what a bit this is, but I'm 90% sure. First of all, that's not the chair. That's not the chair that's in there. There's no litter box in the Coke bathroom. And I don't think there's this much shit. So I don't know if Jesse's trying to play this off as the real deal. I don't know what the gimmick is, but I'm willing to say that perhaps, and how dare I even allude to this, Jesse PS may be having a little bit of fun with body cam bonanza. Oh my God. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. Jesse PS. Deutsch Chad says Nick's existence is so miserable for him that he has to huff nitrous to the point of hypoxia just to cope. Imagine. I'd really rather not imagine that if I could. Julius Presley with $5 says, you said this morning that you were disgusted by the notes, but not disgusted enough to bring your own children there. Yeah, is this, should we get a counter? Is this about time 975,000? I'd said that was a real shit thing to do. Didn't I say failure as a father, everything else? Glad I pulled up and got a lot better. What was the other thing I said today? Oh yeah, we all deserve the rope for what we did, including myself. I think I covered it. Ghost of Mr. P, welcome back. 199 says, Aaron, if you answer my 6 questions, G or N, $200. No, what is this? What are you fucking, what are you, Craig Kilborn hosting The Daily Show, motherfucker? Make tracks. What are you talking about? That's going to put us at 165. Also, Miss Tay, before the show even started, $20 over on PayPal said, I'm at work, so I will watch later. Here's a fake dono for the show. We love fake donos here on the toe.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Yeah, we missed. We ended up missing by 80 this morning. We ended up missing by $80 by the time it was all said and done. I do love the Will Herren and muttering J Cope. Goddamn, man, it feels so good to be inside these people's heads. They can't keep their cope straight. They think I'm either lying about hitting the goal, and the way they do that is they just stop counting Venmo and PayPal. They just don't count it. They just assume it's all fake so they can keep their Aaron imaginary game in their head. But then when I go, yeah, we missed by 80. If the evening show picks it up, we'll give them a little something extra. Then they go, well, see, he missed. It's like, well, how do you know I'm not lying now? I love the way that people act the way I'd like them to act, and then they act like they're acting on their own. It makes me so happy. I saw Kino Copter called out Will when it came to me. He's like, Aaron's been right on and truthful about everything. What has he lied about? And Will went, the goal. It's like, Will, walk away from this one, son. Now Will's convinced that Kiwi Farms is trying to take his job. Before it was me, then it was just the internet. Now it's Kiwi Farms. He's convinced Kiwi Farms is trying to take his job. I have a feeling every time Will barges his little donkey teeth into internet things and we all smack him around like a play toy, his big cope is, my job, everyone's trying to take my job. Sorry, Will, you just suck at this. That's all. You backed the wrong horse. It happens. Walk away, son. It's not good for you. When your best friends are the backyard, the BYB. I mean, you don't have a leg to stand on. I said leg to stand on to Munson. All right, guys, let's get into it. There's a little Will Herren trashing. I'll check that out. McBuster says Will Herren is fucking boring and a biased journalist, and so he sucks at his job, too. I don't think that he's a journalist. I think he's like one of those like part-time weathermen. I don't think that he's like a journal. He's not like I'm doing, journalistic integrity shit. He's just a goof. Loaded Wrench becoming a member for 32 months. Thank you very much, buddy. Okay. So I have a really, really good shock jock idea for you. I think you're going to like this one. And you know what? I'm inclusive to everybody. I've always said I'm a loving and giving God. So to those of you who cannot make your life without me, I've actually done something for you. So amidst all this talk about body cams, oh my God, everybody all weekend, body cams, body cams, body cams. People can't shut up about body cams. I thought, you know what? You know who's got a body cam? I've got a body cam. And, I can sit here and go, I think that body cam is public figure or public knowledge. I think people should be allowed to see it. And I thought, you know what? You can't be a hypocrite. You can't just be a hypocrite and say, well, that body cam, that body. I think all body cams should be public. But I'm also a grifting shock jock. So today, somebody sent me a screenshot of the Steel Toe Love Reddit, the fan Reddit. And the fans were on there, and they're all crazy. They're losing their shit, and they're going, if Aaron wanted a big W, you know what he could do? He could release his own body cam footage. And it dawned on me, I had an $80 loss this morning. I took an L this morning. We need to have a nice evening show. And we're going up against the casino and the Pod Awful and all of this stuff. I thought to myself, that's it. Is there a market for the steel toe body cam footage? Now, I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't have it. But I assume it's got to be somewhere, right? Because the body camera was never part of my thing. It's not evidence in anything. But I'm sure I could call Stearns County and I could get it. And so here's what I'm throwing down the gauntlet tonight. If the steel toe body cam footage is something you'd be interested in, then I am promising tonight, if we knock out tonight's goal and we knock out what we were short this morning, I will, and I'll record it, I'll show everybody, I will call Stearns County, I will ask to get my body cam footage, and I will go over it, and I will take out any parts that aren't just me and the officers, if there's like a Gordy sighting or anything like that, and I will show the body cam. We'll go over it right here on the program. I will be a man of my word, and I will play that body cam footage. One of the fans said, Aaron, that would be the shock jock thing to do. And I said, well, by God, if I'm going to be a shock jock, then I got to do shock jockey things. And what's more shock jock than playing your own body cam footage? So I am two things. I am a shock jock and I am a grifter. So therefore, I am willing to call Stearns County and get that body cam footage. However, I want to get paid. I'm a shameless grifter. So you guys knock it out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, and I will, and I'll record this, upload it, the whole deal. Call Stearns County, attempt to get my body cam footage, and if I get it, I will play it on the program. That is my promise to you. Adam Simon gifting a membership over on YouTube. Thank you very much, Adam Simon. That's very nice. Honky with $5 says Will Herren is doing his Nick impersonation, arguing with two followers' accounts and flexing his military history. He has a military he served. That must have been before like the trans and gay ban. When did Will serve? In Don't Ask, Don't Tell? I have a hard time believing, unless his fake teeth were doing the pull-ups. I don't really see the guy making it. I don't really see Will Herren being the type. But if he was in the military, God bless. Thank you for your service. If he wasn't just a lady who jumped out of the cake, for the boys, then God bless. You thought they would have made a man out of him. How do you go into the military a bitch and stay a bitch? I don't get it. Power Windows says anything for the gold. That's what I say. Atomic Ray says Will served in F Troop. He was the mule. See, now that makes sense. I get that one. So our official number is 160 away for tonight's goal, and then $80 away from this morning. So if we knock out both of those, I'll offer up my own body cam footage. I will be consistent. Julius Presley with $2 says, we know you have X-rated videos with the Baldo boy. I don't. I do not have any X-rated videos with the Baldo boy. Look, there was no goo eating on either end. I know he likes to project that. Whenever Nick accuses someone of something, you notice it's always a projection of something he did. But I'm 90% sure, I'll be gracious to him. While he is lying about that, I don't think he ate mine either. I don't, I'm not as insecure as Nick. I don't need that to justify my shitty decisions. I did a dumb, perverted thing. I did some degenerate stuff and I moved on. The boy's having a little tougher time. That's all. A little grace. Thank you, Julius. But no, I do not have that. And if I did, I certainly couldn't show it on YouTube. So thank you very much. 160 is the number for tonight. $80 short from this morning. Let's see if we can hammer it out. If you didn't know, the tickets for the anniversary show and golf tournament is right there. You can go on eventbrite.com, the Steel Toe 11th anniversary weekend. We've got the tickets for the comedy show with Gino and Johnny and myself. That's available for Saturday, the 26th. And then the 27th is the golf tournament. We've also got refundable tickets to the cornhole tournament. We just need to know how many people to expect for that. You can also walk up and join that one same day. We can make that tournament as big as we need to. That's going on July 26th and 27th. Golf tournament tickets are up. Comedy show tickets are up. there's a combo package there as well where you save about $10 if you'd like to do both. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've had a lot of VIPs claim their comedy tickets already. We've sold about 10% of what we have available already on morning one. So I'm very excited. I'm really happy with where it's going. We hope you join us for our biggest anniversary weekend ever. Ghost of Mr. P with $1.99 says, your video is free, you goo goblin. My body cam? No, I think you'd have to release it, I believe. Like I said, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. If I don't knock out tonight and this morning, then that offer expires, unfortunately. What happened with, I refuse to research this. I refuse to look into it because it's so retarded. What's the deal? What's the deal with this Chad Zumock thing? Because like all Chad Zumock things, it's a shitload of smoke and mirrors. So apparently what happened with our old buddy Chad, and I got nothing against Chad. I think all these guys, I observe them. I hover over that world like a specter and I observe it. I'm not in it. They try to make me a part of it, but I'm too good for it. So I hover above, I observe, we take our shots, we leave. But that me saying that alone is going to drive people nuts. Chad apparently had his channel demonetized. Now, I don't know exactly what happened because whenever something happens with Chad, you got a third of people are saying it's a work, a third of people are saying it's real, but for this reason, and a third of people are saying it's real, but it's for this reason. So it does look like Chad Zumock's YouTube channel got demonetized. Now, I'm against brigading. I'm against gay ops and shit like that. And I'm sure this is probably Melton related because Melton gets threatened and he gets insecure and he's not against gay ops. He loves that stuff because, look, if you don't have kids or a wife that loves you or a family, you just live in your basement all day, you got to entertain yourself with something. So if people like me or other people have a life, or Chad like has a comedy career, which Patrick wanted and he tried, he failed, he couldn't do it. He'll try to get his people to do gay ops and try to fuck with people. So I'm sure that's what happened here with Chad. However, the thing that turned me on to this was people were saying that maybe Alex Stein had something to do with Chad Zumock's demonetization. Now, I don't know what Chad did to Alex. I'm not up on the Alex-Chad beef. I can't see Alex doing something like that. Unlike, poor Clubfoot Bucky the Beaver Carl or Patrick, Alex isn't into gay ops. Alex doesn't endorse that kind of thing. So I don't think Alex would do that. I think Chad was trying to get a little heat from the whole thing by using Alex's name. But I don't know what Chad did to Alex that would get Alex Stein to even try something like that anyway. So that becomes the original theory, is that Chad's channel got demonetized. Now he can't get super chats. He can't get memberships. Now he can still do Streamlabs, PayPal, Rumble Rants, Venmo, etc. He can still do all that stuff. So, I mean, you can survive without super chats. You can survive without memberships. It's doable. But people are fucking with this poor guy. I don't think it's right. However, then you've got that other third that says, no, Aaron, and numero uno, Josh Denny said this to me before the show. He said, no, Aaron, what happened to Chad? Here's how he got demonetized. He was clicking on his own ads over and over to try to run up his AdSense revenue. So now now other people are claiming that Chad Zumock was trying to bump up his ad revenue by clicking his own ads incessantly over and over and over again. I have a hard time believing that a human being would stoop to that level. And I'll tell you why. It's very simple. That would be so time consuming. Do you know how much money you get per ad click on YouTube? If you're fully monetized, it's pennies. You would have to sit there all day and just click, 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 click. It would drive you insane. You'd go mad. Now, Chad is saying that somebody created alt accounts, and these alt accounts were click, 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 clicking on the ad. Now, that makes sense to me because a lot of the people that watch those horseshit, uninspired podcasts that are mostly about daddy anyway, those people have nothing but time on their hands. I mean, a lot of them legally aren't allowed to see their children. A lot of them legally probably couldn't get consent to be with a woman. So these are people with nothing but, being outside makes their skin sizzle. They've probably got the time. But who, you understand, if you dedicated your time to clicking ads on Chad Zumock's channel in the hopes you'd get his channel demonetized. First of all, I don't even know if that's something you can actually do. But I didn't know you could lose your monetization for that. If you have enough time to click to fuck with Chad Zumock's channel, you're so mentally ill that you would do something like that. That's what I believe PPP calls a kamikaze felt. You're making yourself look like an abject retard just to own some shithead on YouTube. It's time to reevaluate the priorities. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. The thing I'm hearing most is that there's clicking. You know what? It's clickgate. It's clickgate. Numero uno says, I said that's the leading theory, not necessarily what I think happened. I definitely like the theory that Chad was doing that, though. Okay, someone has to explain to me, though, how someone clicking would, how the hell that would trigger you to lose your Google AdSense. I don't get that. I don't understand it. Not for a second. Mr. Me with $2 says, I have done what no rackets could. I have cleaned. All right, now look. Congratulations. But let's not suck our own dicks just yet, gentlemen. Let's not lower the bar so much that the very simple act of cleaning means that we all high five and jack each other off. Calm down. I cleaned my garage. I swept my garage. I weed trimmed. I mowed. I did dishes, laundry, swept, Swiffered. I did all this stuff yesterday as part of weekend cleaning. You don't see me sitting here whacking myself off over it. So don't get caught up on other people being abject, falling apart, galaxy-brained failures that now all of a sudden, you bleach your countertops and wipe them down and you go, holy shit, I'm Alice from the Brady Bunch. We're not gonna fall to the soft bigotry of low expectations, Mr. Me. Honky with $1 says Chad constantly clicking on the ads is depressing. Because you gotta press to do them. Ghost of Mr. P with $1.99 says, I'll be at your anniversary show filming for your parole. Well, I'm really sorry to bother you, Mr. P, but I don't have parole. I can explain it to you. I can go slow if you want. It's probation, not parole. And don't film. Well, I mean, you can film, but come up and say hi. Don't be a weird mutant who's allergic to sunlight. Come up, say hello to Gino, say hello to Johnny and Keanu. Come hang out. Come be part of the party. Don't be a weirdo sitting there in the back filming like this, because we're going to mistake you for a nerd and we're going to bully you and beat the shit out of you. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, oh, that's Ghost of Mr. P. That's my bad. Come up, say hello, hang out with us, have a drink, and then, yes, film away. Film away, my friend. If Cheetos or anybody does anything to you, I can't stop them. But you just come on out. Don't be a weirdo. Don't be a strange, creepy internet guy. Be a dude. Come on up, say hello. You and I don't know each other. Why not? Gray Duckling with $5 says, shit, I didn't clean today. I did show up to work and on time. Hey, were you showered? That's a win. That's a win. Thank you, guys. 150 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Honky says, Ghost of Mr. P would pee himself in fear. Yeah, I can't imagine that the Ghost of Mr. P is a very intimidating guy in real life. I have a feeling the Ghost of Mr. P might be one of those guys I could just, put the heel of my palm on, and he just, I hate you, Aaron. Come by, be a real human being. We'll get you a drink. You can settle down and maybe realize that social lives aren't something you need to break out in hives thinking about. Numero Uno says, I have heard that Ghost of Mr. P is a very nice, fun, sociable guy in person from people that met him at the MLC AC debacle. Well, then, Ghost of Mr. P, why don't you come on out? Stop being such a confrontational, creepy misfit and just be a fan. Because that's what you are, buddy. And thanks for the contributions. See? I tell you guys, I'm a loving and giving God. And then I prove it every day. All right, let's get to our first topic today. We're 150 away from today's goal. Throw in on Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Remember, if we knock out tonight's goal, and then we hammer out what we missed this morning, then we are going to do, I'm going to call Stearns County. I'm going to get my body cam footage from my arrest, and we're going to play it on the show. That's your reward if we knock it all out tonight. I just figure I'd better practice what I preach. That's all. It's all about being consistent. All right, here we go. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan. Says, I'd estimate an 80 to 90% likelihood that the core scenario, click bombing leading to suspension. Oh, is this Grok? Is plausible given the technical feasibility and Zumach's context. The remaining 10 to 20% accounts for the possibility of exaggeration, alternative explanations, or additional factors not disclosed in the posts. Likelihood of a single troll or a handful of trolls causing the suspension, highly likely, 90%. A single troll with a VPN and a basic automation tools could execute a click bombing attack sufficient to trigger an AdSense suspension. A small group would make the attack even more effective, but it's not necessary for the scenario to be plausible. Yeah, it would be a very mentally ill thing to do. That's for sure. And I think it would reflect more on the people doing it than the guy it happened to, if you will. Mr. Me with $5 says, okay, so I cleaned, but I skipped work. I also got high. But I don't have 5 kids, so it's still a win. You see, this is what I'm worried about, Mr. Me. You seem to really be lowering the bar on me. I'm really worried about how low this bar is actually getting. 145 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much. You know what to do. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Okay, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We got to run the gambit from news to lifestyle to nonsense to whatever. I am going to throw out a quick warning because I don't want to get rid of anybody. But if you're just writing the same thing over and over and over every single day, I got to bounce you just for being boring. So try to be part of the show. Try to be a part of it. You know you love me anyway. If you're having trouble expressing those feelings, try to do it a little differently. All right? You come in, you say the same thing over and over. We're going to be like, all right, give somebody else a shot. Okay? We get it. I've done something to wrong you. You're going to be okay. All right? Don't let me in your head like that because I'll never leave. If you let me know I bother you somehow, I'm going to keep doing it. All right, let's do this because this is a millennial / Gen Z mom problem, and these broads need to be stopped. Have you seen the videos? And this has been going on for about 5 or 6 years. This has been like, I think what happens is white single moms see this shit on TikTok, and they go, well, I have to do that. Like, I've known relationships that have been destroyed because a girlfriend or a wife gets a TikTok and she starts watching stupid shit. And she's like, literally, I've seen it turn like normal people into blue hairs and they go insane. And it's like when people say that TikTok is a Chinese psyop, believe it. It works on some people. And one of these things that women are doing is they're like, you know what, like a cool fucking caveman thing to do is? You take your toddler. Some people even do it with babies. And if you have a pool or if you're out at the lake, you take the baby or you take the toddler and you just chuck them in. That's what they do. These moms will just throw the baby. I've seen it with babies that look like they're a couple of months old up to toddlers. I think this one's probably 1 or 2 that we're about to watch here. And they just take them, they chuck them in the water, and the kid has to like fever, don't die paddle to get themselves up to the top of the water. And they're like, look, we're teaching the kid how to swim. It's like, no, you dumb broad. You're teaching the kid not to die, which there's a subtle difference. And I love, some people defend this by going, yeah, it's teaching the kid survival skills. And you get in the water with the kid and teach him how to swim, you lazy butthole. Yeah, we just throw him in the water. Oh, because you didn't want to get your shorts wet. You didn't want to get your shirt wet. You didn't want to change into your swimsuit. I hate it when people are lazy and gay and they don't just want to admit that. So they try to make it like, hey, I'm like the next Liver King. I'm Les Stroud. I'm Survivor Man. Yeah, teach him how to make a fucking fire bow and drill, you dick. So this woman takes her kid and just chucks the little bastard into the water and goes, oh, look, well, see, now he has to come to the top. And then they end up jumping in with the kid anyway. It's like, you lazy asshole. Go in the water with the kid. Do you know how easy it is to teach a child to swim? I taught all 3 of my kids how to swim. It's not difficult. What you do is you hold them when they're very little, you hold them underneath the stomach and you kind of hold them above the water. And you tell them, all right, paddle with your hands and kick with your feet. Paddle with your hands and kick with your feet. Keep your feet above the water. Paddle with your hands, kick with your feet. And you move them around the water. You move them around, and periodically you let them go. And you drop your hand, and then they go, and they're floating. You go, hey, good job, and you're encouraging and the whole thing. And then they start to sink. You get the hand back up there. And you do that for, dude, honestly, an hour. You do that for an hour, and your kid's got the basics of swimming down. So this whole deal where it's like, oh, you know what we should do? We should chuck them in the water and make them float. And that's like a tough guy thing. It's not, what? No. Like orcas don't do that. What do you? So this is this woman and her brilliant, bright idea to get in touch with our ancestors by chucking a kid into an in-ground pool. Oh, look, we're traumatizing the child. He's scream crying before he even gets in the water. So he's crying. He's going, ah! So he's sucking up water. Is it a shitty, unnecessary thing to do? Oh, man, this is so base. This is why. Like, there's a difference between something being like a tough guy thing by teaching a kid. And then there's just, you're doing something for there's no reason to do it. So look, then she just walks in. And the kid's trying to keep he wants to cry, but there's water getting into his mouth. Hey, look, my protector, my mother, who I look to for sustenance, life, protection. She's just sitting there watching me struggle. This is great. Now, look, if your kid is 12, 13 years old, and they can't go through little struggles on their own and take care of it on their own, okay, yeah, that's a problem. I don't think at 18 months the kid needs to be able to, figure shit like this out. You should be close enough. God, white moms.
Baby, you got it. I'm right here, baby.
White moms might be worse than black dads. I mean, left to their own devices, Because, at least if you're an absentee black father, you're probably the kind of guy who wasn't ready to have kids, so you're not going to be a shitty influence in that kid's life. These dumb, retard TikTok moms are, actively participating in their kid's life, which I think might be just as bad as not being there. Yeah, I put my child through unnecessary struggles when there's a lot easier way to teach them something. Ugh. This is like when we were cavemen. We're not cavemen anymore. Hey, woolly mammoth hunting lessons at noon. We're going to teach you how to throw rocks with a sling. Still screaming.
You got it, love. That's so good. You take me all the way to the deep end. Let's get you to the shallow end. Good job, baby. Good job.
Hey, good job. No, good job. You did great. Meanwhile, he's like, this means fucking nothing to me. I'm losing my goddamn mind. So this is like a thing they do. I've seen this many, many times, and they think, oh, this is great. We're helping the child. Get in the water. Like I said, it takes an hour. Teach them how to swim, and you don't have to give them suppressed, traumatized memories. It's probably better. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1. You know what? I agree with numero uno on this one, too. Chucking a kid into the middle of a polycule and seeing how they do, also not the best method. Correctamundo. Crowder Wears Panties says, to be fair, this teaches children not to trust their stupid bitch mom. I guess that's fair, too. Gray Duckling with $2 says, oh, that's why they don't like swimming. I don't think that's. Numero uno with $1 says, make some kids a can of SpaghettiOs and they eat for a night. Teach the kids to SpaghettiO and they eat for life. Tim Bollinger with $1 says, did you have a shirt on in the pool when you taught your kids how to swim? No, I'm not Patrick Melton, for God's sake. I've got a much better body than that big fat mollusk. Purple Magic Johnson, I get it, with $4.99 says, Keanu is like Mace Windu from Star Wars, reverses the dark energy back onto the evil person. As we saw, this created a rage feedback loop in Nick. Yeah, Nick has a real problem with women who stand up to him. There's physical abuse allegations. There's psychological abuse allegations. Then we saw, of course, him wish death on Mama K for just watching the body cam footage of his fuck-ups. There's the way he treated Keanu. I mean, and still seeds about Keanu. I mean, even Ethan Van Sciver was like, dude, you look like a fucking asshole there. Get your fucking life together. Van Sciver went on a rant where he went, be a fucking man. What's wrong with you? It was good advice. Shane with $5 says, I don't like you. I don't like you, but trying to educate people. I am trying to educate people, Shane. Yes, thank you. Seething is unexpressed emotion. If someone's saying if someone is saying they hate you, they aren't seething. Oh no, I don't think hating me is seething. I think trying to pretend I don't get under your skin is seething, and I can see right through it. So I appreciate the attempt, though. That was pretty polite. Shane M., you've turned a corner. I'm proud of you, buddy. Numero uno with $1 says, anyone else wondering what Ghost of Mr. P's 6 questions are? No, I no, but I could probably guess. 135 away from tonight's goal. And of course, if we knock out last night's 80, I will call Stearns County tomorrow. We'll try and get that body cam footage and we will play it on the air. Das Optic Nerve says, I can't swim. It sucks. The swimming thing, I never understood how people can't swim. Like, I don't mean to brag. I'm a great swimmer. I'm a very good swimmer. But I never understood how people couldn't figure out the swimming thing because it's just you're not sinking. It's not drowning. But, some people are just not big fans of the water. Jane says, I hope the internet rages on that mom. There's too many of them. There's lots of people who believe that that's a really good thing. Jane says, Aaron won. Look how the Melton crowd is trying to troll in the YouTube chat. Dude, I think for like 2 years I've been beating Melton. I mean, every time I hit go live, and you'll see, nobody from us goes over there. We don't give a shit. We're like, guys, go ahead. Go in your hug box. You need me to live. I don't want to stop you from living, and you need me to live, so go ahead. But they got to come over here. Aaron, I hate you. It's not fair. You shouldn't be on. I hate you. You're bad. Gotcha. So, yes, you are right, Jane says. I think me winning. You could tell how much it bothered Carl when he was on Alex Stein's show. Alex is like, well, Keanu won that whole thing. And Carl goes, winning is something Aaron made up. Well, yeah, I'd say that too, Carl, if I kept giving you guys L's by just not doing anything. No offense, but you guys are not the most intimidating group of dorks. Sorry. Grand Poobah says some people have denser body composition, and it makes it difficult to float and swim. If you're a fat fuck, swimming is easier. I see what you did there. Tim Bollinger with $1 says, I can't wait to see the patented melt and zoom on that lump on your forehead. That's fine. I'll take my little zit on my forehead over his monkeypox scars. Tim Bollinger. See, it's too easy. I don't even feel good when I do this. It's just way too fucking easy. I can't help it. You know, you guys leave me no choice the way you play. All right, let's continue on. There was a terrorist attack today. That was a fun non sequitur. From moms trying to drown their children to anti-Semitic terrorist attacks. Oh, speaking of terrorism, you know that shooting we were talking about at that graduation in Minneapolis over the weekend? They arrested the guy. His name's like Mohammed Al-Azir bin Salah or whatever. So breaking news that a lot of you are going to find very, very hard to believe. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says Nick's body cam footage is awesome. It shows Nick lies. The toe always wins. Cheers to going back on the radio soon. Take that, Nick. Well, I mean, look, you're setting me up against like me looking better than a complete narcissistic liar, loser, bum. I'm kind of damned by faint praise. Like beating all these retards who take this stuff too seriously. How do you not win? Veldrain with $1 says, crazy theory with TikTok moms tossing their child into a pool. They are prepping the child to be trans. I didn't know that they were, that makes sense though. That would tie everything in with the TikTok parenting. All roads lead to trans. I had no idea. Let's go to Sam Show. He says, it was kind of funny. I like how a rabbi caught fire and all right, Sam Show, maybe I shouldn't go to you for stuff about an anti-Jewish terrorist attack. Sam Show is the only one of us who watched it with his pants off. Jesus. Well, usually when these terror attacks happen, you see like some kind of like internet cameo, like some kind of internet figure get some kind of publicity out of it. And it happened for this one as the CEO of the ADL, Sam Show's favorite organization. I'm not going to say that he totally blamed Hasan Piker for this, but the head of the ADL kind of blamed Hasan Piker for this. It's there's no love lost between the ADL and Hasan. Hasan likes anything that's not Israel. You know, the thing about Hasan is Hasan just won't, one of his biggest Achilles heels is he won't come out and admit he hates Jews. If he would just do that, it would be a lot easier for him to navigate the internet. But he melts down, every time someone gives him any kind of shit. He melts down, he loses his mind, he has to react to every little piece of criticism. And people will be like, hey, Hasan, I think you might just be anti-Semitic. And he'll get indignant about it and he'll yell and go, how dare you say I'm anti-Semitic? I'm not. It's like, dude, have the Jews ever done anything right to you? I mean, he likes Hezbollah. He likes Hamas. He likes, who are the Yemeni pirates? The Houthis. He likes all of them. Like, those are all his favorites. And all of those groups have one thing in common. They really fucking want the Jews out of that part of the world. So, like, it's hard to take Hasan seriously when he goes, what, hate Jews? What do you mean hate Jews? How could you think that? It's like, I don't know, listening to you. So Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL, goes on. And they bring him on to talk about this terrorist attack that was this Muslim guy attacking some kind of Israeli protest. And this guy, in the midst of all this, all this furor about the people dying and the Jews being under attack and the anti-Semitism, he finds time to blame Hasan Piker.
We're taking a tough stance, and what I really want is whether it's social media influencers on Twitch and YouTube like Hasan Piker, or other kind of promoters of hate on YouTube and TikTok like Guy Christensen, or like, these speakers
Stu
at these
Peters?
graduations.
No,
It just happened the other day at MIT, spreading blood libels about the Jewish people or the Jewish state. It creates the conditions in which this kind of act is happening with increasing frequency. We've got to stop it once and for all. I hope the Trump administration will do that.
Look, I don't want the government stopping people from making speeches. I'm sorry, but just because people say mean things about you doesn't mean we change the First Amendment. So it's kind of weird because the ADL does this thing where I want to have all the sympathy in the world for them. This was a very sad day. But then they always take it and they overplay their hand and they try to like fulfill their agenda using the barely cold bodies of the dead victims. So on one hand, you're like, hey man, hey Jonathan Greenblatt, I don't always agree with the ADL, but this really sucks. This is a tough day. And then they'll go like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And now's the time for Donald Trump to censor commencement speakers. And I'm like, would you fucking stop? Like, for one day, can we go rest in peace to the victims? It's kind of like Democrats with guns during a mass shooting. Like, hey, all these kids were killed by this trans person. That's remarkably sad. That's not good. We should be against this kind of thing. And then immediately here comes some Democrat going, and we got to get those guns and fucking assault rifles. It's like, can we bury the dead first before you get on your agenda? Please. So the ADL... Don't get me wrong. Someone wants to shit on Hasan Piker. I'm listening all day. But then to take it to, these terror attacks are caused by these people who are, saying things at commencement speeches and who are protesting at colleges. I hope the Trump administration does something to shut those down because that's how free speech dies. Is they say, oh, it's actually the speech causing this violence, so we have to censor the speech. Censoring speech is censoring speech no matter what the reason is. And I'm going to throw out a different idea. You can check me on this if you want to. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like the policies of the Israeli government regarding the Gaza Strip and the West Bank have a lot more to do with creating these terror attacks than somebody speaking at a college or a bunch of 19-year-olds with a nose ring and blue hair burning a flag or criticizing a country. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sacrifice my country's First Amendment for some other country's comfort. That's not the way we do things here. I'm sorry. So, Jonathan Greenblatt, you have my sympathy. It's very sad, this terrorist attack that happened. But just like Democrats with mass shootings, man, let's not take a tragedy and then try to break the land speed record trying to turn around and make it fit our geopolitical worldview. I fucking hate that. And then don't try to take away other people's freedoms by using the dead bodies of others. Purple Magic Johnson with $1.99 says, tow coverage ecosystem is bizarre. They love you. They do, and you're going to make them mad saying that. You see this shit-eating grin on my face? Oh, they fucking hate it. Oh, do they fucking hate it? And it makes me so happy. It makes... I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I love them all because they're all my own special lol cows. I love them. Vadam with $5 says, Nick is a Jew. I'm positive he has Jew genes as his family is wealthy. Nick is a dirty Jew. I bet he has ties to terrorists. Jesus, Vadam. The Catholic Church helped Hitler escape Germany during World War II along with his top troops. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have lost the battle of Vadam tonight. Vadam isn't here, Mrs. Torrance. By the way, I tried to watch The Shining again, and I know I'm going to catch shit for this, but never liked it. Never liked The Shining. Boring to me. It's really boring. By the way, maybe line of the night, Triple N says, I like to use every part of the tragedy like the Native Americans in Buffalo. It's just the ADL sitting there going, all right, this is the part where we mourn the dead over here. This is the part where we lobby foreign governments to remove freedom of speech over here. And here's where we bomb a bunch of Muslims for 90 days as a response over here. Just carving it up. Like Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York showing you what's a kill. It's perfect. Yeah, The Shining is funny as fuck. I'm catching a lot of shit from my Shining take. The book is good. The movie sucks. One person says. Actual Steel Toe fan says you should read the book. Oh, welcome back to normalcy and sanity, Steel Toe fan. How long until you spurg out again, buddy? Stay with us here in Funville. Not in Spurg. Steel Toe owns your Brainville. Right now, you're healthy and you're good. 120 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much. 120 away from banging this thing out and calling it a win tonight. And then we were behind by 80 from this morning. We lost by 80. We got all week to make that up. Let's worry about our goal here tonight first. We're doing great. 120 away from the win. You know what? There was a good take in there by someone who hates Steel Toe so much that they automatically took an aggressive stance on their opinion. But I actually agree with them. But I think he's got Steel Toe poisoning. Fly High says, you want to know how free speech dies? It dies when the president tries to silence the press. Your takes are total garbage. Calm down. I agree with you. I think when Trump spurgs out at the press, I think it's funny. But I think kicking people out of the press corps because they don't give you preferential coverage, I think that's horseshit. I think letting Tim Pool come in there with his fucking beanie, I think that diminishes the press corps. So when you're not busy having Steel Toe derangement syndrome, Fly High, you might realize that maybe you and I agree on stuff. Oh, and by the way, people's takes aren't total horseshit just because you don't like them. Relax, pal. Just try to calm down for me. You'll have fun. Let's go to Unnerving Brain with 199. He says, I reported Chad's channel for not reading Super Chat. Well, then you're gay. I'm sorry, but you're gay. Don't brag about that ever. Everybody should just go, well, that guy's had a little too much internet today. You know, I reported Chad's channel. All right, stop. Stop right there. That thing you just said, fucking gay, bro. Nobody's on your side. Yeah, but you want to hear why I reported? No, reporting anything is really fucking gay. Here's what you do. I don't like this thing. I'm going to watch something else. First of all, you gave Chad Zumock a super chat. That's kind of your fault. That's kind of on you for giving Chad Zumock a super chat. I mean, who's really the bad guy in this scenario? Let's go to Pool Scam Sam. You said you were going to strike channels last week. No, I think if people just replay people's shit and don't make it transformative, I think that's a scummy. I think that means you're out of ideas. I think that means you've been broken and beaten, and you should be put out of your misery for that. Like, you shouldn't be able to just rebroadcast movies, music, podcasts, shows. You got to add your own spice. I mean, if you're not creative and you need somebody else to make your money, I understand it, but that's not my fault that you were born without talent. I don't have any problem with people rebroadcasting shit and commenting on it. But if you're just going to replay other people's shit, yeah, I think you need to be punished for being just kind of an uncreative, worthless lump of shit, quite frankly. But thank you, Pool Scam Sam. I know you're on my side because you just let me dunk on somebody. That was nice. I like that. Anytime you throw me an alley-oop and I get a free dunk, I'm a happy guy. All right, I think we're going to have somebody either defending the toddler swimming thing or somebody at least shedding some light on the toddler swimming thing. You do know that this is practice from toddler survival swimming. I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's a whole industry behind it. There is a full class this kid has taken. It's an entire industry in Florida and other water-bound areas, especially in places that flood. I don't think they usually throw them in without warning, but this kid has taken a survival swimming class. He probably had the survival swim class when he was 1 year old. Okay, then explain the fact that he's hyperventilating and losing his shit before they chuck him in. I think, look, my only argument is I think you can get in there with the kid and teach him how to swim and everything else without the, whoa, look, we're not teaching these kids to be soft these days. Meanwhile, she's going to let the kid be on a tablet. But don't worry, they're all cavemen over there. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says, sending Chad Zumock a super chat is retarded. Finally, a toe take everyone can get behind. Oh, numero uno, you're not new here. You know this. The minute I have a take that's right on the fucking money, but they all agree with it, they'll immediately change their beliefs. Kind of like they actually think that the person who gave their kid cocaine is somehow not as bad as I am. I mean, these people, they're too far gone. They're mentally ill. You got to let them go. And you got to just make them the lol cows that we make them. Numero uno. The reasonable get it. Gray Duckling with $5 says, I only report you for looking like a queer that can't figure out his shirt size. Well, it's difficult when you're in between a large and an XL. You know, you're floating between worlds. Great. Wait a minute. I'm not a queer. I got to remember to respond to that one quicker. You know, they catch me up with the double insults, and then I don't respond to the really immediate need, which is I ain't gay. 115 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Keep it going. We're almost there. 115 away from a W for tonight. And we will go until 9 o'clock if we knock out the goal plus this morning, the $80 short we are for this morning. So thank you very much. All right, Sesame Street has finally gone too far. It's fucking enough. You know, Trump wants to take away the federal funding from PBS, which is something that Republicans have been promising us for like 20 years, by the way. Since I was a kid, they've been going, oh, yeah, PBS, they don't need taxpayer dollars, you know. And I agree with them. I mean, they're clearly biased. PBS's reporting is biased. I don't think you should have to pay taxpayer money to have your beliefs, your political opinions, and your way of life insulted. Let them survive on their own. They'll be fine. Sesame Street will be a show that can be funded by advertisers. People are like, oh, well, if you're funded by advertisers, you could be corrupted. Tell me that this shit for Pride Month isn't a corrosive, corruptive element from Sesame Street. We've got a world-renowned cross-dresser. First of all, nothing wrong with cross-dressing. Whatever. Like, I'm fine with it. You want to go to a bar and there's drag night and you want to dance and you want to do your thing, fine. I ain't going to be there, but that's okay. But we're not putting it, like, whatever happened to shit being okay but not appropriate for kids? It seems like such a simple concept to grasp. Like, hey, that thing you're doing over there, that's totally okay. The minute we talk about children, not all right. So, like, the Sesame Street brings this cross-dressing weirdo on, which, again, nothing wrong with being a cross-dressing weirdo. Keep it away from kids' shows. And then they start making fucking double entendres with, like, a smirk and a wink with fucking Elmo and Cookie Monster.
Annie, Ellen looked just like Jonathan Van Ness.
Cookie Monster, Cookie. That is Jonathan Van Ness.
Elmo.
See, like this right here. This, kids don't need to see this flamboyance. Like, I got no problem being 1950s guy on something like this. This ain't okay. We're not going to do this as children's entertainment. No thanks.
Cookie, are you ready to see my monster piece?
Ready, Jonathan!
Mama.
Oh, monster piece. Get it? It's like, okay, kids don't get it, but the adults watching with them, it's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Here, some runway music, please.
Oh, yeah.
People and monsters alike, a round of applause for the Not Too Late Show's newest monster, Alan. Ta-da!
Oh, and by the way, if you're like a drag show personality, we don't need to say humans and monsters. You covered it with monsters. We're good.
Alan Monster is wearing the latest in high monster fashion with a set of sleek horns, fluffy, fuzzy fur, all topped off with a monster honker.
Like a monster honker. Yeah, there we go. Like, honestly, like, kids don't need to know what is it, Jonathan Van Ness? Kids don't need to know what a Jonathan Van Ness is. They have tablets. They can go look it up. All Jonathan Van Ness is popular for is being a creepy drag burlesque crossdresser. No, we're not. Again, nothing wrong if you go do that on RuPaul's Drag Race. I have no problem with it. I ain't going to watch, but I have no problem with it. Sesame Street? Nah. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, Zumock says, why do kids need to see this? Well, yeah, okay. Why did that sketch need to be done? Why did that person need to present it? We couldn't find 9,000 other people who could do that. And by the way, we got a whole month. Get ready. Fucking buckle up. I'm gonna keep it to a minimum on this show. Not just the gay. Like, look, I'm gonna still be me. So there's gonna be a little bit of gay kind of sneaking through, and I'm sure Zumock will catch all of it in context or out of context. But it doesn't, like, the kids shows and shit, and like on this show, when it comes to covering, we'll cover some of it, some of the fucking June Pride Month stuff, but there's so much fatigue, you know? There's just so much. I saw that like 25% fewer corporations are doing the Pride Week thing this year. I'm so happy. Some lady had a fucking breakdown. Some lady had a breakdown in Target because they didn't have a Pride section this year. Like, imagine being that entitled to an entire section. Holy shit. McBuster says, being oneself is authentic. Spending hours to dress up is the antithesis of that. Look, dude, I don't even mind that part. Go ahead, cross-dress, go nuts. I don't care. But just like time and place. That's all. And like now that's becoming weird. Now if you're like, oh, hey, time and place to be appropriate with that kind of shit. They're like, why? What's your problem? What are you, hateful? What are you, a bigot? It's like, what? No. I just said time and place. That was it. Atomic Ray says, I don't believe Virgin Mary just threw Jesus into Sodom. There are consequences to this delinquency. All right, I wasn't going that far. I wasn't going, the return of Sodom and Gomorrah, but I guess I throw it out there and you guys do the rest. Jesus. This person saying, I agree that she probably should have prepared him better before making him practice the swimming like that. Yeah, I mean, but it was done that way for a reason. 115 away from tonight's goal. Let's knock it out. Let's call it a win. We're still pretty early on in the show here. So I'm enticed. I'm enticed by how low the goal is at the moment. So I want to see a little rally, a little run on the PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants and the gifted memberships. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And let's knock this thing out. And then if we want to hammer out the 80 from this morning, we can do ourselves a 3-hour show today. We've got some potential. Oh, speaking of Pride Month L's, we're only 2 days into Pride Month, and already Mickey Rourke has a giant fucking W. Do you remember when Mickey Rourke went on Celebrity Big Brother a couple of months ago, and he started giving Jojo Siwa shit? And like I said from the very beginning, like Jojo Siwa is like performatively bisexual. All she is, she's a girl who grew up in entertainment and she was a child star. And I'm not saying she got like molested or anything, but they fucked with her head and they brainwashed the shit out of her. And so she thought she was things that she really wasn't. And hopefully if she was exposed to enough non-Hollywood propaganda type shit, she would straighten out. Because her bi thing and her non-binary thing with the girl she was with, it was clearly performative. So along comes Mickey Rourke, and he starts saying fag, and he starts, talking about, licking carpets and shit. Like Mickey Rourke is wildly inappropriate on Celebrity Big Brother when it came to Jojo Siwa. Had her in tears from the way she was talking. Or from the way he was talking. So when Mickey Rourke leaves the room, Jojo Siwa goes to this man, Chris Hughes. Now, I don't know who Chris Hughes is. People said he's like a super successful guy. I just don't know him. She goes to this guy, Chris Hughes, and goes to him for comfort. Well, fast forward a couple of months, they're dating. She broke up with her girlfriend. She's heterosexual again. They're posing together. They're in love. So I say Gay Pride Month 0, Mickey Rourke won. Mickey Rourke, with just a couple of gay slurs, turned Jojo Siwa right back onto the Jesus track. The former Dance Mom star who started a platonic connection with celebrity Big Brother UK has now developed a beautiful connection. And even her family's clocked how much happier she's been compared to recent years. Oh my God! You mean when she doesn't do what Hollywood has brainwashed her to do and does what she actually wants to do, she becomes a lot happier? You know, that's why a lot of these child stars, they walk away sometimes at their peak and they come back and they go, I'm happier than I've ever been. Like the ones who end up chasing the dollar and trying to keep the burning embers of their career alive, they end up fucking miserable, like River Phoenix and people like that. Meanwhile, you get people like Hillary Duff. She walked away a while ago to go have kids. She did. She did a couple more movies. She did a great job. And now she's kind of fallen into this like mom niche with kind of some smaller productions and independent films that she's been doing. She's actually doing pretty well. Kirk Cameron is another guy. He walked away at his peak and he's like, I'm fucking out. And then he like found the Lord. Like he got really heavy into Jesus and shit. And yeah, I guess he got a little weird with it, but he's happy. He's having a great time. You don't see him miserable. Like Corey Feldman tried to stay in Hollywood. He tried to keep a career going, and he's fucking broken. Like Corey Feldman is mental. But you look at these people who walked away, and you're like, why would they do that? Why would they walk away from Hollywood? Because they can be happy. You look at Jojo Siwa, she stops doing the performative bisexual thing and goes, oh, I like this guy. I'm going to be with him. And her family goes, oh, thank God she's not doing the Hollywood bullshit anymore. Our daughter's happy again. So I think after all the shit she gave Mickey Rourke and after all the heat he took after Big Brother, I think everyone kind of owes old Mickey an apology. He, in a way, he kind of saved the day. Actual Steel Toe fan says, so is Demi Lovato. She's got, I think he means hot as fuck again and getting married. Yeah, Demi Lovato kind of did it the hard way. Demi Lovato almost killed herself with drugs twice. But you're right. Eventually she did go, you know what? I'm starting to think this ain't working. She walked away, met somebody. Now she's getting married, comes back, makes some more music. She's apparently got her shit together. Oh, man, fly high. I'm so proud of you, I could cry, brother. Look at an actual Steel Toe fan. Look at you guys actually being fans of the show and being part of it. Look how much happier you are now. Fly High says, just think of how happy you could be if you stopped the performative hetero thing. Aren't you just happier this way? Huh? Pool Scam Sam says they all walked away like co-hosts. Well, except Johnny. The captive ones are so much easier to stay here. Gray Duckling says, no, fuck you, Aaron. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hold on.
Fuck you, Aaron.
No. Grand Poobah with $2 says, want to feel old? Always. Kirk Cameron is a grandfather now. Well, that makes sense. Kirk Cameron, Growing Pains, early 90s, 33 years ago. Oh, no, that would only make him like in his late 40s. Fuck, they get busy early in the Cameron family. Holy shit. Actual Steel Toe fan says, Kirk Cameron went based before it was cool. We should all be more like Kirk. I'll tell you this. Would the world be a little more boring if we were all like Kirk Cameron? Yes. Would we probably all be happier and in a better place? Yeah, probably. You just have to trade out the fun. You know, a lot more barbecues with root beer kegs. You know, a lot more piñatas, pin the tail on the donkey, shit like that. But crime would be lower. Drug abuse would be lower. Families would stay together. I mean, it's not a bad trade-off. You just probably got to be bored. You're going to live longer, too, in that boredom. So you decide. I'm sorry. I did not mean to upset actual Steel Toe fan. He says, I comment, queer. All right. Things are going well between us. Let's keep it there. I apologize. We're fine. 1:15 away from today. All right. Let's pull up the anchors a little bit. And let's get this thing moving, huh? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We could use your help. I want to knock out. We took a big hard L this morning, and I don't want to see the evening show go that route. So let's get that 1:15 hammered out. It's pretty low. Oh my God, we've got well over 300 people checking out the show right now, and that's just on 2 of our 4 platforms. Thank you guys so much. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Oh God, here we go again. What's worse for you, diet soda or regular soda? We're going to be debating this while we all die of heart attacks. Diet soda. I always hear that from people. I drink diet soda, full disclosure. Diet soda is so much worse because it has aspartame. And aspartame is one of those things that people learned it a year or 2 ago. And so now they're all experts in blah, blah, blah. I heard somebody say aspartame bad. It's like all those people who said, oh, yeah, MSG fucks you up. MSG. No, it doesn't. MSG is fine. Monosodium glutamate is fine, especially in the amounts it's in Chinese food. Aspartame in the amounts it's in diet soda, you would have to gorge yourself on this shit, not gorge your shit. I mean, that would hurt. That would be bad for you, aspartame or no aspartame. But, the amount of this shit you'd have to drink for the aspartame to affect you is, put it this way. You drink the same amount of regular soda, and then you drink the same amount of diet soda. That sugar is going to fuck you up, make you fat, weigh down your organs, cause heart problems, in my opinion, a lot quicker than that diet soda is going to. But the latest research says I'm a stupid asshole, so you might like this next one. It may have 0 calories and no added sugar, but experts say Diet Coke is not generally considered a healthy beverage. Whoa, time out. I just want to clarify one thing quick. I never said it was a healthy beverage. Drink water instead. I mean, I got water, diet. There you go. Way better for you. This stuff, liquids shouldn't be green. This is poison. But, water, so good for you. So natural. So I'm not sitting here preaching saying, oh, Diet Coke's healthy. Diet soda's healthy for you. No, it's all shit. It's all bad for you. It's all chemicals. Drink water instead. But I don't like this. There's people who just flippantly, they go, oh, yeah, diet soda's worse for you than regular soda. I would check you on that. Previous studies have linked diet soda in general to increased metabolic and cardiovascular risks. It would be funny if I'm preaching about all this, I just drop dead of a heart attack right now. Research shows that drinking 2 or more artificially sweetened beverages per day may increase the risk of heart disease and stroke, according to Michelle Rautenstein. Sam Show, take it easy. She's trying to help. A New York-based registered dietitian who specializes in heart disease. Another study showed that just 1 diet soda increases the risk of AFib, an irregular heartbeat, that increases the risk of vascular events like stroke. Some studies show this may be due to how artificial sweeteners are processed in the body and the metabolites they produce. Rautenstein said, while other research suggests that diet sodas may negatively change the balance of gut bacteria, which plays a role in chronic disease. My problem with all these studies is that I don't think they should be compared to just like water. They should be compared to regular soda. Like, let's finally get this figured out. Let's answer this once and for all. The thing we should answer once and for all is which one is truly going to kill you faster, the regular soda or the diet soda? Because neither of them are good. They're both going to get you. But which one's worse? That's all. Let's not try to sanctify any of them. Redbird with $5 says, and the fact that you can't drop the last 10 pounds is Exhibit A. Well, it's 6 or 7, but I understand what you're saying. That's me coping, by the way, saying 6 or 7. It's, what's the difference between 5 and 10? Not a lot, but yeah, those last 6 or 7, you're right. They'd probably come off if I got rid of this shit. You're not wrong. If I just dropped the diet soda and replaced every diet soda with a bottle of water, yeah, that last 6 or 7 would come off nice and easy. Redbird ain't lying. He's also got us down to 110 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much, Redbird. Hey, guys, jump on with Redbird. Let's knock this thing out and call it another win for the toe. We can worry about that 80 another day. Let's get that 110 hammered out, and we'll deal with the rest. We got all week to take care of that 80. L-Train says, a nice Canada Dry seltzer, boss. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I get it. It is fucking childish to be like, oh, man, but I like flavor in my beverage. But I do. I know that that's a gay cop-out, but sometimes water is just boring. Sam Show says you can drink tea if you really lack all self-control. Pool Scam Sam, I would probably agree with this in moderation. He says beer is healthier than soda. Be a man for once. I mean, I drink beer from time to time. Until I break 90, though, I'm only having one beer on the golf course. I got so goddamn close the other day. Last week, I shot a 93. Fuck, using my sand wedge and my 54-degree wedge to chip instead of my pitching wedge has really changed things. It's really shaved a few strokes off my game. But until I break 90, one beer on the course, and then it's water and Dr. Pepper. That's it. Not gonna. Although, maybe he's right. Maybe if I had a couple of more, it'd loosen me up. You get more 1 putts instead of 2 putts. It's a possibility. All right, what I need from you guys is I need you to throw in and rally up. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Let's get this thing going. I want to feel like we got a shot today. I don't think we've ever had a double loss, and I don't want to have a double loss. Took an L this morning. I don't want to take an L tonight. Let's everybody throw in 5 or 10. This thing will be over so quick, you won't even notice. We do have a little bit of a fight tonight. There was a scrap this weekend. I like these. I like these showdowns. Some of you are going to like this because you do not side with me on the Bill Maher issue. Some of you think that Bill Maher is a pretentious cunt and you like to see him get smacked around. I think you might like this next clip. So the playwright, David Mamet, who Bill Maher is a big fan of, he and Bill got into an argument about January 6th. Bill Maher is, as much as Bill surprises people sometimes and he can be a little right of center on some stuff, Bill's still pretty solid lefty on a bunch of stuff, including a lot of Trump stuff. But I'm sorry. I just have to read this because it's good and I'm going to lose it. Pool Scam Sam, 93 at Pirates Cove Mini Golf is good. I really thought I was going to get away scot-free. Look, I don't expect this audience to applaud me when I improve my golf score. I just try to get through it without anybody saying anything remarkably shitty. And we failed this time. Zumach, I think you're converting steel toe haters into begrudgingly liking the toe. I think they see Zumach having fun in the mockery and being part of the show with it. And I think they want to join in. What I'm trying to say is I think there's a lot of Zumach copycats out there. Redbird with $5 says getting a real job might also help with the weight. New boot coupon. Thank you, buddy. Gray Duckling with $2 says, I don't trust your score. Pool Scam Sam says 2 divorces before age 40 is a double loss also. Hey, I'm seasoned. I'm experienced. I can show you where the potholes are. Thank you very much. I'm battle tested and battle hardened, and now I know what I want. By the way, you know what we call that, Pool Scam? You see that? That's called cope. That's what that is. All That's how I'm so good at picking it out in others. I know when I'm doing it. Thank you, Redbird. You got us down to 105 for today. Hey, keep it going. There's $10 from Salvatore. This is an interesting question from Salvatore. He says, during her time on the show, when did you have the aha moment where you realized that April was the whole? By the way, don't give me that she can bust balls like one of the guys response. She stunk. There were moments that I got that gut feeling, like being a professional broadcaster for a long time. I got that gut feeling. And when you love someone, you ignore it. You know, we all have, I mean, it got, drugs. The April's on drugs shit stops now. Good job, retard. But there were many moments where she would like try to make edgy jokes, like edgy sexual jokes or edgy race jokes. And I would cringe, but I'm like, no. And I'd pump her up and I go, yeah. Where in all fairness, if a guy said it, I would fucking ruthlessly mock him. I would make fun. In fact, I did. But if she did it, she's like the guys. She's busting. So yes, Salvatore M, I concede to you. There were plenty of those moments. But again, when you love someone, you kind of let that shit go. You let it go. Thank you very much, by the way. That puts us right at $100 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys so much. You are moving. Keep the rally going. I appreciate it. Very, very nice. $100 away from another win for the toe and a little over an hour to do it. Guys, those 5s and 10s will get us there in no time. Thank you so much. So as I was saying before that little rally there, Bill Maher was arguing with David Mamet about January 6th and Donald Trump's role. Now, I don't know what your full take is on January 6th. I think it's like a lot of government things. I don't think it was a complete setup. I think the Democrats who installed Biden and got him into the White House, I think they knew all these Trump people were coming and they were going to protest and they were going to be riled up. And I think the FBI put plants in the protest to rile people up. And well, like Ray Epps, let's go storm the Capitol. Everyone started chanting Fed at him. They put some people like that up there. And then I think that Nancy Pelosi and Muriel Bowser and others purposely understaffed the law enforcement. You even see on the body cams, because Honest People released those. You see on the body cams that even the police officers were saying, I feel like we're being set up. I feel like we're being set up. And then they purposely they created the environment to allow January 6th to happen. By the way, Redbird with $10. Thank you, buddy. He says, did not wanting to admit that everyone else was right contribute to you and April refusing to call things quits when it was obviously over between you? No, we had problems like any married couple, and we worked on them, and it was fine. I think once you get drugs and when you take a guy like me who's been a cheater a lot, and then you just let me get pussy, that's not good. That's a recipe for disaster. Then you throw drugs on top of that and then degenerate and everything. Like it was a spectacular crash and burn. I mean, if you could have been behind the scenes, I mean, just cokeheads fight and argue and there's drama constantly. I mean, oh my God. Yeah, it was bananas. Thank you very much, Redbird, for that $10. $90 away from today's goal. Chad Zumock says, can you get the body cam footage of you calling the officer chief or whatever you said? No, what did I call him? I didn't call him chief. What did I call the boss? I called him boss. I was a good boy. Like if we knock out tonight's goal and we knock out the morning goal, I'll go until 9:00. And also, I will call Stearns County tomorrow. I will get my body cam footage if it's available. I'll record myself making that call and I will show it on the show. But yeah, I told I was very respectful. And he was so cool too. Like, he was so nice. He didn't cuff me. He walked me down. He's like, hey, I parked way down the street so your neighbors wouldn't see. And like, he knew who I was and had seen the show. And he's like, I don't want to embarrass you in front of your neighborhood. So just walk down with me. We'll get to the car and I'll handcuff you in front and then we'll get you in the car. I'm like, all right, cool. I appreciate that. Because I was on my way. My attorney had worked something out where I was going to go in Tuesday morning. And he said, all right, go to your family's cabin or whatever. I'll tell them you're there so they know you're not running away and you'll be in on Tuesday. He did all that. He let them know. He's like, look, the guy's at his family's cabin. Not going to tell you where it is. He'll be back on Tuesday. He'll come in. We'll set the whole thing up. They're like, okay, cool. And then the officer came to my house and he was just like, well, I said, hey, I'm just on my way to head up there. He goes, I know, we're going to take you just to make sure you go. I'm like, all right, sounds good. I was already dressed, literally was putting my shoes on to go outside the door. But, I think I called him boss. I was pretty respectful. Numero uno says, Kevin called his officer a bitch. Yeah, I didn't really see how that would benefit me. I didn't really see how calling the officer a bitch would, you play that out in your head. Plus, what did he do wrong? He was just doing his job. That guy was just there, wasn't doing anything wrong. And he was super respectful and really nice to me. So, yeah, I called him boss. If that makes me a bitch, then I'm a bish. L Train says, best dressed guy in Candy, Ohio. Not Candy, Ohio. I'm a Stearns man, which isn't that much better, believe me. It's not that much better. All right, let's continue on. Let's do this Bill Maher, David Mamet thing. Thank you very much, Redbird, for the $10. I appreciate it. We're only 90 away from tonight with over an hour left in the show. The fives and tens are getting it down to 0. We appreciate it. This person texts in, I don't understand Diet Coke metabolites. Those fucking cops touched my kid's hair. It's not how Diet Coke gets into the hair. Jesus. All right, let's go in and do this Bill Maher, David Mamet thing, arguing about January 6th. Oh, Christ. God, they're never going to stop with this.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
Oh, yeah?
From June 1st through August 31st, Metro Bus has this also.
Here's Mike.
I don't know if you've ever seen David Mamet's plays, but I think he did one. God, what did he do? Was he Glengarry Glen Ross? I think that's what he's most known for. David Mamet plays. Yeah, Glengarry Glen Ross is his big one. Race, he made one called Race in 2010, which was supposedly really, really good. But yeah, he's best known for Glengarry Glen Ross. He wrote that one. He and Bill are going to argue about January 6th. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really understand what arguing about January 6th accomplishes. It's over. It's done with. It's not the Civil War. It's not 9/11. I think the lessons to learn from that are pretty obvious. Staff the fucking Capitol Police properly when there's a big protest. Get the FBI under control. But they're going to argue about it. And they're going to argue about Trump, and off we go.
Question. When last we spoke several years ago, you were stuck on this issue. You're still stuck on it. How come?
Because it's not been resolved.
A shitload of people got thrown in federal prison. Some of them without charges for a really long time, like basically Patriot acted. A lot of them got in trouble and they weren't even there. A lot of them were just saying shit about January 6th, and they got put in jail, like Enrique Terrio from the Proud Boys. A lot of people never even went inside the building, and they got sent to federal fucking prison for years.
So wait, what is it that hasn't been resolved?
The asymmetry of American elections. The fact that if one party, the Republican Party, wins the election, the other party goes, okay.
Whoa. I'm sorry, did Hillary Clinton in 2016 not challenge multiple states? Did she not raise questions about Wisconsin and Pennsylvania? And forgive me for bringing up ancient history, but Al Gore in the 2000 election? Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that 2004 is, before this last election, 2004 was the only election that the Democrats didn't challenge in one way or another. Remember, Hillary Clinton was going to challenge the Green Party chick. Her votes, Stein. Not Gertrude Stein. What the fuck was her name? I can't remember. The Green Party lady. I'll find it in the chat. You guys will tell me how dumb I am for not remembering. Jill Stein. There we go. Jill Stein. I mean, 2004, when George W. Bush spanked John Kerry, that's the only time the Democrats haven't bitched about an election that they lost. So I don't want to hear this, oh, you know, when Republicans lose, they whine and they cry, and they took both Obama losses like champs. The only one they disputed was 2020, and I'm sorry, but with mail-in, write-in ballots, it seemed a little fucky. The fact that Joe Biden was getting his ass kicked until we all went to bed, and then all of a sudden hundreds of thousands of votes just showed up, that we're not supposed to question that. We're just supposed to accept that and go, that sounds fair. That sounds logical. Not to me. So this idea that like, oh, see, Bill's still got some of that dyed-in-the-wool lefty Democrat in him where he goes, our side, when we lose, we just lose and roll over. My fucking balls, you do. You're not even gracious when you win. The last time you won, you threw a bunch of fucking people in prison, and then you tried to put the guy that you beat in jail for the next 4 years. So please, I don't want to hear this shit where Democrats respect the sanctity of elections and these big bad meanie Republicans don't. You're all shitheads.
Some you win some, you lose some, and they go home.
So
Hillary Clinton went home. Kamala Harris went home.
Hillary Clinton did not go home. Hillary Clinton fought as much as she could. It's just that she lost by so much after she questioned Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, and they went, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We're going to do these recounts, and then we're going to certify. She was like, all right, well, I guess I'm fucked.
Home.
Yeah.
You can't imagine Trump ever going home.
Excuse me. Now what you're doing is injecting metaphysics into what might be a matter of. So the question is not what he did. The question is not even what he might do. What you've just said is one can't imagine what he would do. But on the other hand,
no.
That's kind of a shitty tactic. Mamet's right. You can't prove a negative. I can't prove something that didn't happen would happen.
I don't have to imagine what he did in 2020, which was never concede the election. I'm not even.
Dude, he didn't have to concede the election. He lost. If somebody is beaten in a prize fight and the other guy gets the belt, the person who's beaten does not have to concede.
Right. Oscar De La Hoya lost the rematch to Sugar Shane Mosley. He protested. He challenged the decision, the whole deal. They still said, well, fuck you. You lost. The belt's his. He doesn't have to concede. He lost.
It's not necessary. He's lost.
Well, it is necessary. The analogy falls down because that if a prize fighter loses, it doesn't inspire people to riot.
How did he inspire people to riot?
By not conceding the election.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Those people would have gathered that day no matter what because they love Trump a lot. They would have gotten together. They would have felt the election was stolen, and they would have done their Stop the Steal event.
Come on.
What?
Come on. So wait a second. He didn't say the words, I concede, and so that meant people rioted?
Yes. What do you think January 6th was about?
What do you think January 6th was?
It was about people who did not hear their leader say, as every other leader in this country has said after
Al Gore, Hillary Clinton. Keep going.
An election. Okay, I lost. We welcome the new guy. We had disagreements, but now we're all Americans. When Obama took over, George Bush stood next to him, and he said, we want you to succeed because...
Yeah, George Bush handed Barack Obama a flaming diaper of an economy, and he goes, I'm so happy to be getting the fuck out of here. Here you go, buddy. First black president. We're all really excited for you. Is the Dow under 10K? I got to get the fuck out of here. Hey, by the way, could you pass that big bill for my billionaire banker friends? Sure would appreciate it.
When you succeed, Trump didn't do any of that.
Okay. So what?
Well, so what? It inspires half the country to not accept the basic democratic principle that we have.
Half the country minus one, Bill. Remember, he lost
elections, and when you lose, you go away, and then you become the loyal opposition.
Well, look,
they don't see themselves as the
you
loyal.
You like me have built a career out of nothing except talent and a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work, but you're full of shit.
I love David Mamet. He's digging down deep into his well of poetry and verse that he writes his plays with, and he comes up with, you're full of shit. I love just an old crotchety playwright telling Bill that he's full of shit. This reminds me of the Bill Burr interview. Remember when Bill Burr told Bill Maher, he's like, stop talking like you're a general. And David Mamet's like, you're full of shit.
What I don't understand when you say that he did not say the words "I concede" caused half the country, which you just said, to riot.
No, I didn't say half the country rioted. A lot of people rioted, and it was less than half the country because he got less than half the votes and still won. That's okay. That's our system. But a good deal.
Not this time. This time he won the popular vote.
Of the country, approaching half. The people who are MAGA, the people who love him, at least a third of the country, will now in the future never accept any electoral results. And a democracy can't continue.
Again, you're making us prove a negative. You're saying in the future, when this thing happens, these people won't do this. How I got to go with David Mamet. Bill Maher's full of shit on this one. I think he just doesn't like Trump that much. You can't say that if this doesn't happen next time, these people won't do this. You know, a fucking crystal ball, dude.
In that way, you have to have this situation we've always had where the one football coach walks across the field and shakes the hand with the coach who
Here we go, guys. Now we got boxing, we've got football, you got to do all. By the way, go watch football. Every Sunday, there's two coaches that don't like each other in one of the games, and they ain't going to shake hands. It happens. Every year, you're going to see coaches that don't want to shake each other's hands because of the way the game ended, some shit that went down during the game. Mike Zimmer didn't shake hands with one coach because of a cheap shot that somebody laid on Teddy Bridgewater back in the day. I think it was the St. Louis Rams. I think they were still St. Louis, and maybe they were L.A. But he wouldn't shake it wasn't McVay back then, but he wouldn't shake the coach's hand. I think it might have been Fisher because of the dirty hit on Teddy.
Him in the game.
Okay, what do you think we'd be today if Kamala Harris had won?
What's that?
What do you think we would be today if Kamala Harris had won?
Well,
what would happen? Would Israel still exist? I don't think so.
Still exist, of course. Why wouldn't they exist?
Why wouldn't they exist? Because
you really think that Kamala Harris wouldn't have been Israel's bitch? Come on. I mean, every American president, here's an extreme position on Israel for an American president. I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to watch Israel bomb the fuck out of these poor people with our weapons. That's like, oh my God, you don't support Israel? That's the most extreme position an American president can have.
The Obama Marxist, Leninist, Islamist that were taken up during the. Here's a good question that I would ask you: is
David Mamet,
who was running the country during the 4 years that Biden was out of his mind and demented?
Well, he wasn't out of his mind and demented for.
He was out of his mind and demented. He was getting lost in the closet. Shut up! I don't want to hear any of you making jokes. It has nothing to do with me.
4 years. He probably wasn't out of his mind or demented even on the last day. He just did The View.
Yeah, and his wife had to step in halfway through and shove her hand up his ass and work his mouth like a puppet because he was losing the plot.
Did the Democrats...
Bill's got a lot of blind spots, man. I like Bill, but Bill's got a lot of blind spots, dude.
Democrats do a horrible thing in propping him up and keeping him in office and trying to run him again? Yeah, they did. Of course. I am never easy on the Democrats or the left. And I'm totally with you on Israel, but they would, of course, still exist because they can defend themselves. But you've said things like, liberals have never done anything for Israel. That's bullshit. Harry Truman recognized Israel when many people told him not to.
Well, and the reason go back and look at the history. The reason we poured a shitload of money into Israel And the reason Truman endorsed Israel is because Israel was a socialist bordering on communist country, and we didn't want to lose Israel to the Soviets. So we bribed the fuck out of Israel with bombs and tanks and planes and money to be on our side, even though our politics didn't really align. Maybe don't look into the history of Israel in America. It's depressing as fuck.
Excuse me, I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
Show it to me, and I'll tell you what. Show it to me, and I'll give $10,000 to the charity of your choice. No,
look at the big dick on David Mamet.
I'm serious.
I'll find
wait
it.
a second.
I'll find
you're
it.
Pretty, no, you're pretty good.
I'll find it.
Good. I'm going to give $10,000. You show it to me, and I will give $10,000 to the charity of your choice.
Okay.
Because you're throwing around a lot of generalizations, and I have a bigger question.
Not generalization.
Oh, really?
What's the generalization?
That half the country would have rioted?
If I got that quote wrong, I apologize, and I will take it back.
I got another question. I sit down.
Mamet's fucking relentless, dude. I've been familiar with him as a playwright, never like this, like in a sit down kind of a thing. He does not play by the gentleman's rules. He goes right for it.
And all of a sudden you're attacking me about I have to come up with new idea about Trump, and I have to talk. What the hell do you care?
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
First of all,
wait a second.
It was not my plan to attack you, and I'm sorry if you think I'm attacking you.
Well, okay.
We just got onto this. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to pretend that I agree with you.
Well, I'm not asking you to agree to me.
You know, you know what I think? I think more people should just talk about politics in friendly conversation. It always seems to go well, and, tensions seem to go down, and everyone just gets along a little bit better. It's really good. Fucking hell, man. I mean, and this is Bill Maher. This is a guy who does it like for a living. Talks about this shit, and it's just, even for those guys, it just falls apart, and they're yelling at each other. They're being cunty. It's getting passive aggressive. Whoo boy. But really, I mean, I don't really see a productive conversation in 2025. I don't see a productive conversation coming out of, hey, you and I should talk about January 6th. That sounds like a winner of an idea. Not really. And I don't think David Mamet's like a hardcore Republican either. Landers, I agree with you. He says it's like two old women in menopause. It was turning into an episode of The View there by the end, wasn't it? Hey guys, $90 away from tonight's goal. I don't think we're in the danger zone or anything quite yet, but let's try to avoid it. We got 45 minutes left in today's show. $90, double digits. It's close. It's nice and easy. You got a few bucks to throw in at the toe. I'm begging you for it right now because we took an $80 loss this morning. We're going to spend the rest of the week making that up. I want to make sure that we at least are keeping up with tonight's goals. $90 away. 5 or 10 will do it. If you got 20 or 50, I'm not going to turn you away. I'm not going to say no. Plus, if we knock out the 90 and the 80, we'll do 3 hours tonight, and I'll do the shock jock, go get my body cam, and we'll watch that at some point type of thing. But I have zero hope that we're going to get the 90 and the 80. Right now, I'm just trying to get the 90 so we can keep the wheels from falling off here early in the week. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. We've been on a crazy fucking roll, but I ain't ready for the roll to end. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Please and thank you. Please rally up so I don't end up sounding like this for the rest of the night. Holy shit. I know that people who work in small towns, who work in like the government of like counties and towns of like 20 to 30,000 people, that's where you get a lot of your like corruption and people stealing money little by little, like treasurers, county treasurers. You'll see these people will steal like $250,000 over 7 years, and they won't catch them until long after they're done. I didn't know that there was a lot of money in being just a football coach. Like, no, and I'm not talking like the Florida Gators or Florida State. I'm just talking about just some fucking guy who was just running some football, not a professional football team, anything like that. He just grabbed about $57,000. A longtime Florida football coach has been arrested and charged. Wait till you see what this guy looks like. The mugshot's pretty good. Arrested and charged with stealing more than $57,000 of the team's money for personal use. You see, a lot of times, if you have these amateur football teams, it's kind of like slow pitch softball for guys who don't want to stop playing football after high school, but they didn't get into a college team. And they'll have like these town teams, these town amateur football teams, and they'll get sponsors and they'll get donations. And a lot of the times the coach will run the money. This guy was just taking a little bit out at a time. And the way these guys end up getting caught is they just get a little too greedy one time. Maybe they take out 500 here, 300 there, and it adds up over time. This guy probably got caught trying to grab 5 or 10, and it finally bit him in the ass. Bernard Williams, the 56-year-old coach, the police were receiving tips that there was something amiss with the team's finances. Officials say that Williams, who was president of the board and the sole person with access to the team's account, coach was in charge, refused to provide any financial records to the board when asked. Yeah, that's a red flag. Hey, you want to show us what you're doing with the money? Fuck no. That's really more rhetorical. We were just assuming you would show us the book. Yeah, no, I'm not going to show you guys shit. Okay, maybe we should have a look at those books. Williams was arrested on May 27th. He faces charges related to second-degree grand theft and failure to maintain records of a charitable organization. Williams posted a $70,000 bond the next day and was released. This is the picture. This is a guy who definitely needs to be coaching. He does not need to be taking any more hits to the head. They knocked the fucking guy googly-eyed. He played so much football that the fucking connection tissue from his brain to his eye, all the muscles discombobulated. And one of his eyes just gave up. He's got the Debo from Friday look going on. We got Tiny Lister over here. After looking into the team's TD bank account, investigators said they found that even though there had been $53,875 deposited, the account was overdrawn by more than $1,500. An $800 deposit on December 22nd, 2023, brought the negative balance to $700 before the bank closed the account in January 2024 and sent the matter to collections. Authorities say the second bank account was opened at Heartland National Bank in February of last year, and a total of $36,119 was deposited into that bank account. Detectives said they examined the activity in both accounts and found numerous transactions that showed Williams was using the money for his personal expenses. And what did he use it on? Streaming and gaming services, cable and internet bills. Oh, no. And the TikTok shop. The 57-year-old googly-eyed football coach was buying shit from the TikTok shop. He was being a white woman. That's very ironic. Records also revealed that Williams had written a $3,600 check to himself. Well, he worked so hard coaching the team and made $21,541 in ATM withdrawals. Shit. See, that's what I'm talking about. You go for too much money at once. You can shear a sheep many times, but skin him only once. Deputies say the team also lost its nonprofit status during Williams' tenure. In December 2024, the team had to file for a new nonprofit named Highland County Chargers Football and Cheer. The total amount of donations collected from February 2022 to 2025 was $89,994.84. The amount of misappropriated funds by Williams totaled $57,014.13. I mean, from what I understand, when it comes to those kind of teams, like those football teams, basically what that money is used for is travel when they have to go to opposing team stadiums, tournaments they want to go to, lodging, basically so these guys playing amateur football don't have to pay for everything out of their own pockets. That's what that money's for. And here this guy, like, he stole it and he wasn't even spending it on good shit. He would, like, TikTok shop, gaming sites, streaming. Ugh. Nothing fun, like no trips, no cars, no motorcycles, nothing like that. Just basic white bitch shit. People saying he was buying shit from Gino. Yeah, Uncle Ruckus was buying trash cans. Son of a bitch. Wally World with $10 says, any chance we will see a Baldo on your body cam? Well, there's only one way to find out. We got to knock out both goals. Me personally, guys, I'd be fucking thrilled if we could just stop the bleeding and knock out tonight's. That would be good. We're $80 away. I would appreciate it if you guys threw in Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We got about 40 minutes left to go. Nothing on the PayPal and Venmo side tonight. If you want to christen that, we're $80 away. And honestly, if we all jump in right now, if we all get on it, we can stop the bleeding. We can knock this thing out. We can call it a win for the toe. We can stop falling behind. Throw in a few bucks. Let's nail this thing. Please and thank you. I would appreciate your support. We're off to a rough start this week, you know? I don't like it because I've been having fun. The shows have been great. I've been having an awesome time. That damn money. It's the root of all evil. So help me out. Knock it out and help out the toe. We'd appreciate it. Hey, hard work pays off in the Trump administration. That guy who's been prosecuting all the Somali kings in the Feeding Our Future deal and the white pig that was running the whole deal. Trump has now appointed him to be the U.S. federal attorney for Minnesota. He deserves it. Good for him. He took down a really corrupt deal. His name's Joseph Thompson. Hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer money was stolen through this Feeding Our Future thing. If you don't know what Feeding Our Future is, it's a thing where I just saw a very funny line. It's a thing where there was this program where if you feed underprivileged kids, the government would reimburse you. They would give you money. So a bunch of this fat white lady got a bunch of Somali restaurant owners that owned little tiny shoebox shops to claim they were feeding like 4,000 kids a week. And she was running the program. So she would fill that out. She'd send it to her superiors in Washington. They'd cut her a check, and they would split the money up between themselves. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. And finally, they got caught because, again, you just take too much money. You get too greedy. And this is the guy who took the whole thing down. This is the guy who prosecuted them. Was this Joseph Thompson. And it's just really cool that Trump recognized his hard work and now appointed him as the acting U.S. District Attorney of Minnesota. Awesome, man. He deserves it. I don't think you could draw a better straight line from a guy doing the right thing to a guy getting rewarded better than this. Dusty Rhodes says, looking back at the police footage, there's going to be Ricada shit all over the place, if you will. All right, guys, we got about a half hour left. It's rally time. $80 away. Let's get it done. Let's kill my stress a little bit here and knock out this last. Let's get a win for the toe here tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it moving. I would appreciate it. I don't want a double L today. That would be a morale killer. And I don't want those. This is a very funny story. Taylor Walls of the Tampa Bay Rays, which, by the way, really stressful season they're having in Tampa this year because their stadium's destroyed. They're playing in the Yankees minor league stadium. They have to pay their rivals, the New York Yankees, to play in their minor league stadium for the year because their shithole in St. Pete has been destroyed. Well, Tampa has has this guy, Taylor Walls. He was ejected from a game this weekend for tapping his helmet. Now, honestly, this is like a blink and you'll miss it kind of a thing. You tell me if this was bad enough for a guy to be ejected from a baseball game. Was a tap of the helmet. Let's take a look.
Runner and stayed in the game. Will bat here for the first time. And he looks at a pitch.
Now, bullshit call. It was down and away. Shouldn't have been a strike. He didn't like it.
On the outside corner at the knees. Walls didn't like that call. It's 0-1.
So he's arguing. So he's bitching. The fuck was that? I played baseball my whole life. What the fuck is I don't. What if he would have rubbed his tummy at the same time? Would that have been okay? Could that be he was just doing a gimmick? Tapping a helmet? God damn, some of these umps are fucking sensitive. You can't tap your helmet or you get thrown out? It's kind of a bitch move. I thought maybe when they said he got kicked out for tapping his helmet that maybe he did one of these. Like maybe he was tapping the middle finger. Again, I don't understand what the fuck the tapping the helmet thing is. Maybe somebody can break it down for me, but I don't understand how just tapping a helmet is now all of a sudden a cardinal sin that you get thrown out of a game for. There you go. There's a baseball thing that I'm not aware of. I think first time we've seen it on the show. I'm going to kill this video because as soon as I started playing this, our fucking CPU went in the fucking shitter. Our not CPU, our KBPS, all of our numbers are good, but my reception is fucking dog shit. All right, there it goes back. Was it because I was playing an MLB clip? Leah says Rumble won't quit freezing. It's not Rumble's fault. My OBS is being really fucky, and we don't need this tonight because we're trying to avoid a big L here for the toe. And we need OBS to rally for us. All right, it looks like it's fixed. It looks like it's okay. Thank you for the $5, Leah. I appreciate it. Was it because I was playing a Major League Baseball? No, there's no way. That had to be just a weird coincidental glitch. But ever since I closed the baseball thing, it hasn't happened. That's fucked up. That's weird. Some would say funny and weird at the same time. Well, shit. Thank you to Nicholas, my golfing buddy, with $10 over on PayPal. Thank you very much. All right, guys, $65 away from tonight. Make it happen. Do it, do it, do it. Come on. Half hour left, $65 away from tonight's goal. I don't want to lose twice. That would be a fucking disaster. That would bum me out. And we've been doing some killer shows. We got up over 1,000 people this morning, and we were well into the 300s throughout the night tonight. Help us out, $65 away. Throw a few bucks in. We appreciate it. We're almost to that. Look, we missed by $80 tonight. We don't need to knock that out. We missed by $80 this morning. We don't have to knock that out tonight. All right? If you do, will I go for an extra hour? Yeah, I'll go till 9 o'clock. Will we do the body cam? Will we show my body cam on the show if I can get it? Yes, if we knock that out. But we got to knock out this 65. All right? We got to knock out this 65. By the way, Leah is now in second place with $30. There we go. $30 for Leah. She's in second. Lab Glass is in third with 25, and JD is in fourth with 22. Miss Tay is in first with $45. Waylon with $5 says John Redcorn, 20 seconds. I think we got the John Redcorn story a little bit later here. So I think, unless, you know what? No, you're right. We've got that. We've got that tomorrow for tomorrow morning's show. Hey, $60 away from tonight's goal. Get in there and do this thing. Let's knock out that last 60. We got a half hour left. Let's make it a win for the toe. Let's end this losing streak. And let's see if we can't do some damage. Oh, look at this. $50 from Diane. She says with a smiley face to quit your begging. Oh, is that all it takes? $50 will get me to stop begging anytime. Hey, Keith Olbermann, what do you think?
They are afraid.
That's going to put Diane in first place with $50. Miss Tay is now in second. Leah is in third. Lab Glass is in fourth. And the dynamic has shifted. JD's going to drop out of the top four. All right. Diane with $50. Thank you very, very much. $10 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, evening show audience. You guys are the absolute best. Leah says fake dono. Yes, always a fake dono. Always a fake dono. Just ask Muttering Jay and Will Herren. I mean, they cope hard when we get any kind of big drop in. They do not like it. But only $10 away from tonight. Thank you very much. And, of course, if you knock out the 80 we missed this morning, a little more extra time. MSO says, did everyone bail out to see the drama? Oh, yeah. I figured our last half hour was going to take a hell of a hit tonight with all the drama-centric, Jesse P.S. doing the Ethan Van Sciver thing. Kino Casino has Mama K on. If you don't think I'm turning those two shows on after mine's over, I mean, the only way you can punish me is by knocking out that other 80 and keeping me here longer. But otherwise, at 8:30, yeah, I'm gonna go check out those shows. We got our good numbers early on. I'm not going to bitch. We got our early numbers, and then they bailed. I knew they would. But, hey, we're only $10 away from tonight's goal. Couple gifted memberships over on Rumble, and it's another win for the toe. Wally World with $2 says, the woman loves the toe. 3 out of our top 4 are the girls. The girls are knocking it out tonight, man. Look at that. The guys ain't shit. Although Wally's up to $12 for the week. But no, the John Redcorn thing is actually a really sad deal. The voice actor who was John Redcorn for King of the Hill, apparently he'd been having really big mental problems lately. And people said that he wasn't doing very well. He was having a lot of problems. He got into it with, I believe, a neighbor. We're going to be doing this story tomorrow. And he got shot. He was shot and killed. The guy was arrested. It's not like it was a self-defense thing or anything like that. Let's just hear. Jonathan Joss was his name. Jonathan Joss, King of the Hill voice actor, killed in San Antonio shooting. Let me pull this up real quick so we can get the straight dish on this. A suspect, 56-year-old Sigfredo Alvarez Sea, was taken into custody and booked on a murder charge. Officers were dispatched to Dorsey Drive around 7 p.m. Sunday for a shooting and arrived to find the actor, whose legal name is Jonathan Joss Gonzalez, near the roadway after he was shot. He was pronounced dead when EMS arrived. Police have not released any other information on the shooting, including a motive, but said Monday afternoon the homicide unit is investigating. Despite claims of this being a hate crime, currently the investigation has found no evidence to indicate that Mr. Joss's murder was related. Oh, there was no evidence to indicate that Mr. Joss's murder was related to his sexual orientation. Oh, so he was gay. And they think that he might have been killed because he was gay. No, there's a lot of stories I had been reading that people said that they were concerned about his mental health in recent months. Joss's husband, Tristan Kernday Gonzalez, alleged in a social media post that Joss was killed in a homophobic attack at the site of their old home. While living there, Kernday Gonzalez said the couple was harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship, adding that much of the harassment was openly homophobic. Well, there's a big difference between people harassing you for being gay and shooting you to death. He said the couple was at the house checking the mail. Let it go. It's a murder story. Let it go, Aaron. Let it go. When they noticed the skull of their dog and the dog's harness placed out front, causing them to begin yelling and crying. Okay, this is getting fucky. A man approached them and yelled slurs at them, Kurde Gonzalez says. The man then fired at the couple. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We were not threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side when the man fired. Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. Joss was the voice of John Redcorn in seasons 2 through 13 of King of the Hill. And a new revival of the show is set to debut on Hulu in August. I didn't know that. John Redcorn is seen driving by in his classic tan Jeep. Son of a bitch. So, okay. Oh, he was also in Tulsa King. I didn't know that. I watched Tulsa King. Yeah, Aaron, didn't help. Well, shit. All right, so somebody sent in a little John Redcorn to pick up our spirits after I just, pulled that shit. $10 away from today's goal. Here's what I say. Finish it off. Oh, hold on a minute. Katie with $30 says, all girls on the board. What up now, boys? Oh, shit. Give her a Hogan.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
So now Katie is on the board in fourth place at $30. And we've knocked out tonight's goal. It's another win for the toe. Uh-oh. Now you guys are only $60 short from this morning. If you knock out that 60, I got to stay here until 9 o'clock. I can't watch my drama programs. And I've got to call Stearns County tomorrow and ask about my body cam footage from my arrest. Holy shit. Did tonight turn around or what? $60 short from this morning.
Mine.
Thank you guys for your contributions. What a great audience. And the board is all women. Hold on a minute. Let me update the text on the board here. All women in top 4. There we go. The girls are in charge here on the toe. All right, let's go ahead and check out this King of the Hill clip. Little John Redcorn.
Nancy's going to Corpus Christi this weekend for some migraine workshop. I'm suspicious as hell.
See ya, Shug.
Feel better. Bring me back a shot glass. Good thing John Redcorn's going with her. He can keep an eye on things.
Yeah, that boy, if you can't trust that Redcorn, who can you trust? I was a little young for King of the Hill. I did appreciate it, though, like in reruns when I was a little bit older. I was always a really big South Park guy. South Park was my thing. But that doesn't. But I think if I could pick any, you know what? I'll take King of the Hill over The Simpsons. To be honest with you, I can't stand Family Guy. Like I'm that kind of South Park fan. I'm such a South Park fan that I can't entertain Family Guy being good for 5 seconds. In fact, I think if you're a South Park fan, they pretty much ruined Family Guy for you. Taste Fairy Ialto says the guy who does Dale's voice died too. That's right. They've been dropping like flies over at King of the Hill. Isn't, wait a minute, isn't Boomhauer dead too? I think Boomhauer died a few years ago. I think a lot of the King of the Hill people are out. Hold on a minute. Boomhauer dead. Question refers to Boomhauer while the character is fictional, the question implies a desire for information about. Come on, AI. Boomhauer voice dead. King of the Hill voice actor Jonathan Joss. Oh, shit. Wait, he was John Redcorn and Boomhauer? Then why didn't they say he was Boomhauer? No. Reports are that King of the Hill star and voice actor Johnny Hardwick. And here we go. Johnny Hardwick. Boy, AI's not quite there yet. Animated series King of the Hill and the entertainment industry are mourning the passing of a voice actor, comedian, writer, and producer Johnny Hardwick. This is back in August of 2023. Best known for playing Dale. Oh, no, that's Dale. So Boomhauer's still kicking then, right? Boy, maybe it is Dale I was thinking of then. Boomhauer's still around. Good. Good. Is the actor who played Boomhauer still alive? Oh, no, this says Jonathan Joss was Jonathan Redcorn and Boomhauer. Wait a minute. Why the fuck? If he was Boomhauer, why the fuck would they say he's John Redcorn? Boomhauer's a way bigger deal. Who voiced Boomhauer on King of the Hill? This is weird. No, Boomhauer was Mike Judge. Okay, and Mike Judge is certainly not dead. What the fuck? Google AI is fucking up tonight. Like I said, you guys who are all King of the Hill fans are probably screaming at me, it's Mike Judge, asshole. It's Mike Judge. But again, I didn't watch King of the Hill religiously. I was a South Park guy. So yes. By the way, does anyone remember where like the seed was planted for Hank Hill? Like where the idea for King of the Hill came from and what it was based on? Oh, there we go. Taste Fairy Ialto did say back in the chat as I back it up here. He says no because Mike Judge does Boomhauer. All right, $60 short of this morning's goal. If we knock that out, I've got to go until 9, and I've got to try and get my hands on my own body cam footage. Yankee says, I have all 13 seasons on an SSD. My wife and I still watch a couple episodes a few times a week. Classic stuff. Yes, Waylon, you nailed it. Beavis and Butt-Head started Hank Hill. I just remember Beavis and Butt-Head Do America. That's them boys who are whacking off in my camper. When I was a kid, that's all it took to get me to bust my gut laughing. It's you just a couple those them boys who are whacking off my camper. That's all. That's it. That's all it took. And that was the funniest shit in the world to me. But Beavis and Butt-Head in general was a little before my time. I remember when we were in like 4th or 5th grade, my buddy Wagner and I had basketball practice at Sunnyside Elementary School. And that's where we'd have our weekly team practices. And after practice, my dad was one of the assistant coaches, so he'd already be there. But while the other kids, we had to wait for all the other kids to get rides. My buddy Keith and his dad, my buddy Peach, his dad was the head coach. My dad was the assistant coach. And we always had to wait until the very end. And my buddy Wagner and I would sit there on the school TV that was in the lobby, and we watched Beavis and Butt-Head until our parents saw us watching Beavis and Butt-Head, and then we didn't get to watch Beavis and Butt-Head anymore. It was not allowed. Beavis, and even South Park. Like, I remember if we were at my house, we were in the little, we called it the TV room, with the door closed, and I'd turn on South Park, and I'd be on the phone with my friends because it was on at like 9 o'clock at night, so I don't think I could have friends over. And if my parents opened the door, they caught me watching South Park, TV off, go up to your room, go to bed. No South Park, no, and that was like the first 3 or 4 seasons. After that, once I was in like 8th, 9th grade, then I was allowed to watch South Park. And then Adam Sandler CDs we weren't allowed to listen to either. Until one day my dad came in and went, well, hon, when we were their age, we would listen to Cheech and Chong records. We're like, hey, we're safe. We can listen to it. Nope, they still cut it off because being a parent means getting to be a hypocrite. And we didn't get to, my buddy Pootie and I, we like to listen to They're All Gonna Laugh at You. The Adam Sandler CD. In 4th grade, that was the height of comedic brilliance to us. In fact, Piece of Shit Car was one of our favorite songs. And we had a 4th grade teacher, Mr. Judd. And if you were really good in school and you saved up enough panda points, we were the Pinewood Elementary School Pandas. If you had enough panda points, you could go to Perkins for breakfast before school with Mr. Judd. And me and Pootie and a couple other guys, we saved up our panda points. We went out for breakfast. We went to Perkins with Mr. Judd. And while we were in the back seat of his car, this sounds really like, okay, look. What is this, 1997 or something like that, 96, whenever I was in 4th grade, 96, 97. It wasn't thought of as molesty as it's coming off, that we were in the back seat of his. Anyway, Pootie, a couple of my other friends, I think Pootie, Rhino, myself, and somebody else were all there. This was not a molesty story, but we're in the back seat of Mr. Judd's, I think it was a van, actually, coming back from Perkins. Yeah, see, Chad Zumock says, where did your teacher touch you? No. Completely innocent. Mr. Judd was the coolest teacher. He was a diabetic. And we went to Perkins for breakfast, and we were singing Piece of Shit Car, and we were bleeping out the curse words because we didn't think our teacher knew what it was. So, and by the way, Mr. Judd, back in those days, you remember when your teachers always looked like they were 50 or 60 years old? I did the math. Mr. Judd was in his mid to late 30s when he was taking us to Perkins. We always saw him as an old man. So we start singing, and I forget to censor a part, and I go, my seatbelt is fucking broken. I've got to use a fucking coat hanger. And oh my God, 4th grade, cursing in front of your teacher, we all went white. And I went, oh my God. I freaked out. I thought my parents were going to get called. This was the end of the world. I'm in so much trouble. My teacher looks back at me. He goes, what was that? And I go, I'm so sorry. He goes, it's okay. I listen to Adam Sandler CDs too. Just don't let me hear you sing it again. We're like, oh. And we're like, wow, our teacher's kind of cool. He listens to Adam Sandler CDs. And now I'm 38. And honestly, if I was still listening to those Adam Sandler CDs at my age, I'd think I was a fucking retard. But then again, no judgment, I suppose. But no, that story does not end with me getting molested in the backseat of my teacher's car. I don't think. Zumock says that story was gayer than if he actually just touched you. Oh, Lander says Aaron got his booty hole violated for a Tootsie Roll. No, he was a good man. He was a good man, Mr. Judd. He was okay. Oh, you want to watch this lesbian tell you why she should get to celebrate Father's Day? This will be good. By the way, guys, we got 10 minutes until I'm out of here. Unless you guys throw in $60 in that 10 minutes to knock out what we fell short on this morning. I'm just going to, in 10 minutes, I'm going to tiptoe out of here. I'm going to thank you very much for your support and knocking out the gold tonight. And I'm going to just fade off into the sunset. But first, a lesbian telling us why she, and I understand where like single moms will be like, I should get to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day because I'm both. And I'm like, maybe not. But like the single mom, I think has more of an argument to get to celebrate both than a lesbian does to get to celebrate Father's Day.
Okay, 2 mom families, how are you celebrating Mother's Day tomorrow?
I know, by lobbying for legislation to ban 2 mother families. That's how I'm going to celebrate. That's how I think we should celebrate, is just file an injunction.
Tomorrow is going to be my first Mother's Day, and we are a 2 mom family. And
so which one of you provided the sperm? Exactly. Continue.
we don't
You're a 1 mom family with an absentee father.
know if we just celebrate together or if we should swap off every other year.
Right. It's almost like we didn't plan for you because it's remarkably unnatural. But go ahead, King.
Or if one year it's Mother's Day for me and one year it's Father's Day for me. Not quite sure how to do it.
By the way, she's the masculine one. She should definitely be Father's Day. That's just if you're asking me.
We both want to make sure we both feel special on those days.
Of course.
And we all...
You can't be gay and not get attention at every turn. I mean, that would be weird, right? That would be way too hetero.
Also want to consider the fact that there's going to be Father's Day growing up for our little girl, and we don't want her to feel left out of Father's Day.
Right. You don't want her to feel left out, like explaining how your hedonistic lifestyle still brought a child into the world. Yeah, that Father's Day is always going to be a fun one, right? I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I got no, be gay if you want to. I just don't know if the parenting thing is. And you know what, though? This is kind of straight people's fault. We opened the door to this with absentee fathers and all of that shit. It's like, because like we can go to gay people and be like, I think it's weird that you guys raise kids because your lifestyle is hard to explain to a child and we're not even totally familiar with it. And they're like, well, you guys fucking abandon your kids and do that. And it's like, well, you kind of got us there. Shit. We lose again.
Father's Day activity.
But like Pete Buttigieg shouldn't have a kid. Glenn Greenwald definitely shouldn't have a kid. I mean, I'm still not going to watch that video. I've heard enough about it to satisfy my curiosity.
These as well. So what are two mom families doing? Let me know.
Just celebrate Mother's Day and just you both get breakfast in bed. It's fine. God. I don't know. Stop making me your problem. Or stop making you my problem, I guess. Leah says, Aaron, you listen to terrible country music. Adam Sandler would be less embarrassing. Maybe. Syndicate says, Mama K is on Kino Casino. Hey, Syndicate, could you do me a favor and put a link in our chat? Because we are wrapping up here on this show. We've knocked out tonight's goal. We posted another win for the toe. I don't think we're going to hit that last 60. Which means that we came up short by $60 for this morning. You guys will have another chance to get a 3-hour show tomorrow by knocking that out. I appreciate your guys' generosity as it is. Thank you, Syndicate. Kick.com/Kino Casino Gaming. What do you think? Should we head over there? And, thank you to Phallic Clouds for becoming a Baby Boot member over on YouTube. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, our numbers went completely into the shitter. We're barely hanging on to 200 right now with Mama K on the casino. What's it? Oh, the casino's up around $6,000. Good for them. Wow. All right. Well, Nick probably shouldn't have wished death on that woman. That's probably, it's probably bad. When you wish death on people, they tend to get angry. And when they get angry, the old saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Mama K plenty scorned, and she's going on the casino to talk about it. So I'm going to be up all night. I got to listen to Mama K on the casino. I got to listen to Pod Awful because he's got Ethan Van Sciver and Nick shit that he's got. If you like drama, tonight is a smorgasbord for you. And Steel Toe got to do our dumb little show. We got to grab our 300-400 people. We got to make our money, chip away at this morning's shortfall. Holy shit, man. Everyone's happy. So I apologize. I'm going to give you this 3 minutes back tomorrow on tomorrow evening's show. Why don't we all go over and watch some Mama K over on the Kino Casino? And Nomo says, I love that you call him Skiver. I'm sorry, but Jesse P.S. calls him Ethan Van Sciver. I'm going to call him Ethan Van Sciver. It's hard not to. I thought Ethan's take on the Rakeda and Keanu thing was spot on. Big respect to Ethan Van Sciver, the throat goat. I think he raised his profile big time. He did great. Angel Roll says Nick will be up all night, spurging out, and the farms will be hot. Integrity Farms. They're gonna be on fire this evening. So Mama K is on the casino. We're up to about 8:30. Taste Fairy Alto says, fuck that. I'm watching Raw. Oh, shit. And I've got to watch Raw. I thought one of you were going to be a smartass and throw $60 at us and keep me here an extra half hour, but you guys are gracious, and I really, really, really appreciate that. You even got $20 into our missed goal from this morning. And the entire top 4 is ladies. Give it up for the girls tonight. Diane, Miss Tay, Leah, and Katie, all in the top 4. The guys will have to do it tomorrow. That's the rule. All right, we're going to get out of here. We made it to 8:30. We appreciate it, guys. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night and have fun, whatever you're planning on doing.